Antonio, couldn't ask for a better start, getting up 14-0. What's the collective kind of message or learning lesson in terms of holding on to that momentum and not giving it back and putting your foot on somebody's throat and squeezing it out, winning the game?
Yeah, you're squeezing all we can. I mean, obviously, 14-0 is what you want. That's a great start. But you knew at some point, world champs, Patrick and those guys don't start making plays. They did. Had a good drive there. Okay, got to get going offense. And, obviously, it's a collective group thing, right? It's not just the defense. It's offense, special teams. And I think as the game went on, for 4 quarters, they became a better team. We had a quarter here or there. And as the game go on, there's a reason why Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football and Kelsey's there. But we got to do a better job of stopping those two players. And then we got opportunities on offense that we can make some plays, and we didn't make them again. So it comes down to execution, and we got to keep working on that.
Antonio, when you're in those situations where you may be going against, let's say a better team, how important is it for the offense to remain that aggression and take chances when you have those situations to stay on top of them?
It is, and that was our plan. And there was opportunities there. And again, we look at the tape, and I'm sure you guys saw it. There were plays there. There were guys open, and we got to connect, and we got to make them. No different than we did in the run game in the first quarter. So our offense knew that we had a point, spread that we felt like we needed to get to early in the first half. Need to really take care of the ball right before the 2-minute situation, knowing they're going to get the ball in the third quarter. You'd like to see us get more points there. And you just can't let a team like this even be close. And it's difficult when you have moments like that in the game where we're missing opportunities.
AP, back in the first half, back in the first half when you decided to kick the field goal, obviously anyone would have thought that was automatic with Daniel. I'm not questioning Daniel's miss. Can you talk about, you had momentum, why you didn't, what was your thought process to go for the field goal and not go for it on 4th and 1?
Yeah, you learn each and every week the things you'd have done different. We were moving the ball. We was doing good. And, listen, defense just had 2 great stops. Let's go ahead and get up 10-0, and we missed it. And I'm not going to second-guess ourselves. We went into the game with a certain mindset that if we got opportunities to put up points, let's put on points. Let's not make that decision that we made the week before. Each week is different, and this week is about putting points on the board.
Antonio, you mentioned about they're the defending Super Bowl champs. You know what they're bringing, right? When you're coaching in your first games against the Giants and the Jets, and you have that confidence, does it start to get in your head a little bit as a new coach? Do you start thinking, maybe overthinking, these are the champs, and in that moment, or did you have the same thought process against the Giants, against the Jets, against the Dolphins, against the Chiefs?
No, I think every game has a different process and a way to win. This one, we didn't blink. I don't think you just jump up 14-0 if you weren't going to be aggressive and feel that way. I think we knew early on we could run the ball with Josh. We did that. We knew we had a great opportunity there with Tay on the outside, and we took advantage of that. And then at a point, every game is going to come to a point where offense fails. And then, all right, how do you rebound from that? And what we're struggling with right now is just rebounding from those dry moments. And you see them. It's very evident in the game. Either a negative play on the second down or on the third down, the conversion where we have a concept or a play that we like and we're not hitting it.
Antonio, I know Marcus got pulled out of the game, and there were some things going on the sidelines. Can you just talk about that? Was there an injury, or was it just a coach's decision to take him out of the game?
It's coach's decision.
On that last 4th and 1 to Jacobs, what did you see in that play? Was there like a breakdown on that 4th and 1?
Yeah, we didn't execute. Poor execution, poor alignment, didn't give ourselves a chance. The play was over before we snapped it.
AP, I'd like to ask you about Max. This is me saying this. I'm not trying to get you in any trouble, but there were multiple times where Max is getting tackled, and you can see it up in the press box. I'm curious, at some point, do you go to the ump? Do you go to the ref? How does that work, or do you have to just quietly handle that and can't talk about it?
Yeah, we talked about it before the game with the officials, and you talk about it throughout the game, and just be a professional. Respect their view, their opinion. Regardless if I agree with it or not. I voiced my opinion and displeasure on several times, but they got a job. They got a very difficult job to do, and everybody watches it just like we do, and they'll get reviewed just like we have to review it.
They had a lot of success on the crossing route. Something where you tip your cap, or something you're disappointed in your defense for?
Yeah, disappointing. We knew it was coming. A lot of speed on the field. Opportunities there for us. Just you get the guy down. Give us another chance, and we didn't do that. And that's a little bit of anticipation. Pre-snap awareness by formations, which I thought we did a good job of awareness and working on that throughout the week. And then in the game again, what we talked about this week was execution, and in critical moments, especially late in the second half, we didn't execute at a high level.
Coach, you came on the scene with 2 wins against the New York teams, stepped up in class, too much better. I'm wondering, what kind of impact has these losses have it on you? And this is really kind of first case of adversity now, losing back to back. Are you what kind of adjustments will you be making personally in terms of how you approach a coaching job?
Yeah, I mean, it don't matter if I start off 0-2 and then won the last 2. Each and every week is going to be a challenge. Obviously, the last 2 teams are very dynamic, explosive. You're talking about world champs here, a team that's been dominating, good quarterback, good coach, well-coached team. What lessons do I take from it? Don't take anything for granted. Don't take the wins for granted. Don't take the losses. We treat them the same way. I'll learn. Obviously, AP's going to get better, and Bo's going to get better. Aiden's going to get better. Max, Patrick Brown. We all got to get better, man. That's, at the end of the day, whenever this is over with and how it ends and the season's over, we'll look back and say, okay, these are things you got to work on going forward. And I think for me personally, it's just sitting back and looking at how the game is managed. Is it the ideas is right? Is what we're practicing, showing up on the game field? And that's my job to get that better.
Antonio, late bye for you guys. Surely you don't want to go into the bye losing the 2 games before it, but what is your focus going to be in this bye week?
Get healthy, get fresh. We got 2 home games coming up. We talked about that as a team, as a staff. It was a great opportunity for us, with 3 straight home games. Obviously, this one didn't go like we wanted to, but we got the Vikings coming in. But first and foremost, I told our guys to get themselves right, get healthy, get fresh. 12 weeks is a long time to go without a bye. And these guys have really battled through it, fighting through injuries. You saw what Max went through this week and the will to want to play. These guys are not quitting. There's no quitting this team, and it won't be quit next week. They're going to the bye. We'll become fresh. We'll get back to work on Monday. Get ready for the Vikings at home.
We'll do one more, Levi.
Antonio, 2 quick questions really. Is the Colton Miller situation, is there any worry that maybe he aggravated his injury? And the second one is, could you go into any more detail on the coach's decision on Marcus Peters?
Yeah, but with Colton, just get out healthy. At some point you got to be realistic how the game's going. Take care of your best players, no different than what we do with Max. And then Marcus Peters is just a coaching decision.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Aiden, could you talk about second half adjustments? What were some things that you guys talked about wanting to adjust to in the second half, and maybe what happened when the team kind of started to lose momentum a little bit?
Yeah, I think definitely didn't play well enough in the second half. I think, we tried to continue with our run game and had success with our run game, and then I think that we just had a couple 3-and-outs that, it's hard to do that against this team, to not, put drives together. We kept our defense on the field for too long, and so we got to do a better job sustaining and, like you said, do a better job in the second half executing.
Aiden, early in the game, Devontae started out 5 catches on 5 targets, 73 yards, and then kind of, I don't think he had another catch the rest of the game. Were they doing something different to take him out of the game, or what was going on there?
I think with Devontae, you try to look for opportunities as much as you can. I know I missed him on that 3rd and 8 at the end of the game, and missed him on a couple more. So, it's my responsibility to give him the ball, especially when he's in one-on-one situations. And, we're trying to continue to call plays for him to get him open. And so we got to do a better job, myself, of just getting the ball to him in space and letting him be a good athlete.
Aiden, you guys couldn't have asked for a better start, but collectively, what's the message here in terms of sustaining that momentum and building off it, and basically putting your foot on somebody's throat and making sure you don't give it back?
Yeah, it's you got to sustain. You got to continue your intensity, and especially against a really good team that's won a lot of games and won a lot of games where they had to come from behind. And so it's our responsibility to continue to every drive lock in, every play lock in, try to do our job. And you can't worry about what's on the other side of the ball, same as the defense can't worry about what we're doing. We have to worry about our individual jobs and try to do as best we can to help the team.
Aiden talked about the second half momentum of this game. Coming into this game, you guys totaled at least 50 points in the first, second, and fourth quarters across the board. You scored a collective 19 points in the third quarter. What is it about coming out of the locker room that maybe you're seeing as the quarterback leader of this team that's not taking place?
Yeah, I think it's just converting on third downs. I think we have to like I said, when they have long drives, we have to do a good job of keeping our defense off the field and sustaining drives and getting ahead of the sticks and staying ahead of the sticks. And so it's a combination of a lot of different things. You have to be able to run the ball, pass the ball, and execute. And so I think, like we continue to talk about, there's a level of sustaining that we have to get better at, that we have to, implement during practice, and try to do a good job of, continuing to focus.
I was also just going to say, this is your first start where you did not have a turnover the single game, which I guess you could see as a silver lining. How much of an emphasis was keeping onto the ball to you going into this game, and how did your offensive line help you in accomplishing that goal?
Yeah, I thought our offensive line did an awesome job. They throw a lot of different things at you, and they continue that throughout the game. They threw, new looks we've seen, looks we haven't. And so I think, like I said, kudos to our offensive line for just playing really hard and keeping me upright, and for our guys around me playing really well.
On that last 4th and 1 play, was there a breakdown in terms of the play call or the O-line, or what happened on that when Jacobs got stuffed?
We were a little off in our formation, and so, yeah, I know there's craziness going around. You got to be able to corral the guys and make sure we execute. So I could do a better job of making sure we're on the same page and making sure we have a good play called. Good. Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys.